Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel, Jalasan Tarot, or welcome back if this is your first time, or if you're a returning viewer. Thank you so much for clicking on the video regardless. There are messages awaiting you. So we are asking today about this person, whoever this person is to you, whoever you are currently thinking about. What's been on their mind about you and them? What's going on with that? As far as your connection, we're leaving that open because I know a lot of you are going to be experiencing different things and experiences with this person. And whatever level or degree you feel connected to them. But we are looking into their perspective of, what are they thinking about when it comes to you and them and the connection and how they perceive it. So, that being said, if you are already knowing which reading is yours or which oracle card is calling you, the timestamps are down below. But for those of you that are wanting to go through the pile selection or the groups, let's get into it. So for group 1, we have the Star, and it is card number 36. We are using the Seasons of the Witches Yuletide Oracle for group selections today, guys. So, Star card number 36. I will be reading the message later. And that's for group 1. Group 2, we have the Cardinal Medicine, and it is card number 3. Card number 3, Cardinal Medicine for group 2. Group 3, we have Frost, and that is card number 16. So again, card number 16, Frost for group 3. Guys, don't get so attached to the card or, to be honest, just whatever it is that calls you in. It could be the color, the imagery, the words, the numbers, even just the energy of the group in general, the 1, 2, or 3. So take a moment if you need it. I want to make sure that you get to the right messages so that you are aligned with the correct reading on, the first time you tap in to a reading, especially if you are new here. And again, for those of you that are regulars, you already know the drill. And thank you so much for your continued love and support. I love you guys so much. So with that being said, if you are ready to figure out what's been on their mind about you and them, then I will meet you at your reading, guys. Bye. Hello, group 1. Welcome to your reading today. If you chose the Star, and it says, follow the stars, for they know best, not too light, not too dark, a shimmer of what is coming next. And that's card number 36. It's giving that feeling of hope, even in the message, that feeling of you're not really sure what's coming in your future, but you know that it's shimmering with something that is going to be aligned in some way, and just the imagery of trees. I'm obsessed with trees, guys. Christmas trees I love, but regardless of Christmas trees, I love trees, but I would never live in a forest. But so anyway, star energy is also the feeling of a wish fulfillment, a wish come true. Let's see, is there a big glare? Okay, maybe just from my angle there's a glare, but I think you guys are good. So we are using the AstroMatrix tarot deck, which is one of my OG decks for your reading today. We're asking about this person, whether it's your person, or not. So we're going to say this person that's on your mind. You know, how are they feeling, or what is on their mind in general? And maybe we could get specifics on their feelings or intentions, but you know, what's on their mind about you and them, regardless of whatever connection you might have. We're going to see, because I know a lot of you have different experiences with this person. So thank you so much, Spirit, for coming through for the collective of Group 1. What's been on their mind, guys, about you? What's going on about you and them? What are they thinking about when it comes to you and them, Spirit? Thank you so much for coming. So we do have the 8 of Cups coming up as our first card. And this is water energy. 8 of Cups specifically could be Pisces energy, I believe. We have the 3 of Cups. Some Cancer energy. We're going to get 5 cards with the clarifiers. And we have the Moon in the reversal. Now, this is our first major arcana, and it's card number 18. This is Pisces energy. Queen of Wands. Ooh. What's been on their mind about you and them? What's going on? I want to get the full picture, guys, before we start talking about it. Okay, we got the Ace of Pentacles. So let's see. Why is 8 of Cups here, Spirit? We have Justice in the reversal. Judgment coming through. And this is card number 20. Libra energy, which is an air sign, coming up with the 3 of Cups. We have 5 of Swords. What is on their mind? 6 of Cups with the Queen of Wands. And the 6 of Wands with the Ace of Pentacles. Wow, this is really interesting, guys. Temperance at the bottom of the deck, which is another major arcana in the reverse, popping up at the bottom. And this is card number 14, Sagittarius energy. We got the Knight of Pentacles coming after that. I'm curious. So this person right now, you and this person might be at a distance, but it might not be for everyone. I do feel as though it's temporary. You know, this person is thinking about you and them in a very sophisticated way. I'm feeling that they are being reminded about what type of action they want to take when it comes to you. I don't think they want to come in any way that's going to lead to a failure or a disappointment, especially if those are the type of things that have existed in the past. So I do believe that currently what's been on their mind, or I should say like recently, because it's not only the current energy, but it's something that's they've been thinking about. But I feel like they're ready to start taking action because their intentions are coming through very strong, guys. So let's get into it. If this doesn't sound, or if it's not resonating, feel free to choose another pile. But I think those of you that are resonating with the energy of knowing or feeling, sensing this person is coming nearer or closer to you in a solid way, perhaps to create some sort of offer too. I can't take my eyes off the Ace of Pentacles, you know, and just the surrounding energy feels very good. It feels as though this person is starting to think bright thoughts, you know, if at once they were more in the pessimism type of attitude, because I think this person does lean toward negative outcome, and that could be something that has created a little strife within this connection. Okay, so that being said, I want to get more specific with the 8 of Cups and Justice in reverse. It feels as though they could have created a lot of problems, or And even if it was mutual, it might not be all on them. I do feel as though this person is finding it difficult to apologize. And they may not come towards you in an apology. They want to walk away from whatever it is that happened in the past and just have a clean slate. It's the feeling of them not wanting to look backwards and move on from whatever injustices that was created between you and them in your connection. I do feel like there is a lot of history between you and this person. You know, to go over to the the Six of Cups with the Queen of Wands, it feels very nostalgic where you and this person could have shared history. It's like two children playing in the grass with someone looking over them. Six Cups. You know, it feels very safe, promising, secure, and as though there is a little bit of that feeling of just knowing that this person is the right person for you. You know, we're getting it with the Queen of Wands. What's been on their mind is how they are attracted to you in that nostalgic, you know, historic way. Not that you guys are old or by any means, but it could feel like they just feel you're their person, and you and this person could have gone through a lot of things together. But they also are looking at you as the Queen of Wands, whether you're male or female. Regardless, you are the energy of someone that is super attractive in the physical 3D, where they are being pulled to you in a type of passionate chemistry type of way. You know, they are also feeling this attraction, I feel like, in a deeper sense, because the Six of Cups is here. That is an emotional balance that's coming through when it comes to your energy. And I feel like with Ace of Pentacles coming up and the Six of Wands, that's feeling like they want to come through in a way where they want to offer you something solid, major, and that's going to lead to a kingdom beyond the threshold. There is a path. It's giving the Alice in Wonderland vibes for me right now, with the flowers and just like the garden. And as soon as you get through the path or walk, as soon as this person walks towards you, and again, look at, they want to do it in a triumphant way. Look at this person on a horse, and a horse always does imply forward movement. We are also getting the Knight of Pentacles as well, with the knight being on a horse. I feel as though the Pentacles energy is very earthy, and it could come in a slower, more determined, purposeful way. I feel as though this person is taking this very seriously. And the offer that they are going to extend towards you is going to be very grand. You're not going to be able to miss it. They're going to be communicating this to you. And I do feel as though they are, if anything, attaching more to a positive outcome. I do feel as though they feel, regardless of whatever happened between you and them in the past, whether there has been some conflict, whether there has been strife, challenges, you know, whatever that looked like in your experience with this person. And I think for a lot of you, that could be the feeling of disappointments, where even fights, maybe not sorry, I'm like stumbling over my words because the messages are coming so fast. Not in an aggressive way. I feel as though some of the conflict that could have existed between the both of you could feel like a passive type of way, where someone may have walked away, someone may have taken a timeout or a pause. It could have felt like an abandonment. It could have felt like someone was keeping things more on the hidden, mysterious side, and that could have brewed some sort of anxiety between the both of you, or one of you could have experienced a lot of stress or strife if someone else pulled away. But I do feel as though this person is wanting to not be in that conflicted way with you. They want to let bygones be bygones. They want to get through those dark times. You know, the star was chosen, whatever the reason you chose this star, whether it was the tree, the star itself on top of this beautiful tree, the number 36, the message of hope, of not knowing what's to come, but seeing a glimmer in the future, or just the energy of star, which technically in the major arcana is card number 17, Aquarius energy, of someone having their hopes fulfilled. Like they could look at you as a wish fulfillment, where they don't want there to be conflict. They don't want to keep this secret. They don't want to keep their thoughts or feelings, I should say, hidden from you. They want to feel in a spirited communal way. We're getting the Three of Cups with Judgment. They're looking at you and them, where they want to see more experiences between the both of you in a positive energy. The Three of Cups could feel like a union of happiness, you know, celebration, joining each other in a celebratory way. You know, time sensitive, we are in the holiday season. There could be some sort of social engagements where the both of you are able to communicate. This person might even consider inviting you to a social engagement of some kind, even if it is a date. It could be the energy of being in a busy restaurant, for example. But the feeling of wanting to be in that happy, you know, friendship energy where they could communicate with you in a positive sense and it not producing conflict. And they don't want to repeat the past. They don't want to be reminded of the energy of the past. Like I said earlier, they want bygones to be bygones. They want this star to be hopeful as opposed to returning to any sort of negative energy that has created or dampened the experience between the both of you. Like I said, to go back to the experience. I do feel as though with the bottom of the deck, Temperance being here, it's giving the energy of someone. I'm hearing, oh my God, time sensitive. I am uploading this video on a Sunday. I'm filming and uploading hopefully on the same day, and I'm feeling that type of energy, guys. And I'm hearing the church bells in the background. I live by a church, a Catholic church. I think it's a Catholic church. It's on my street, but it's a block further down. And it's just so beautiful to hear the Sunday bells, guys. And it's giving a little bit of a peaceful feeling. So with Temperance, you know, to go back to the energy of Temperance, which is Sagittarius, fire energy, you know, where this person could have been driven by their emotions, even if they were, you know, taking pauses because of conflict and walking away and not really heading or facing any sort of conflict. It feels like this person is a runner, especially when things get a little challenging. But I feel as though that they do have awareness in this. And it could create the energy of them moving a little bit in a purposeful way as opposed to just coming to you in a passionate way, because they do feel that emotional and that fire energy, that pull between the both of you as well. But I feel they're tempering it, you know, they're balancing it. They're not allowing it to create that anxiety for them, because if that is what created the conflict, that is what they are recognizing, that they cannot, no longer wants that to be part of the experience. I feel as though they're, you know, one of the reasons they could also be coming in a slower way is they could be looking at a lot of different ways that they could be coming towards you. You know, regardless, you know, what's been on their mind about you is them wanting to commit or bring this to a higher level than it already is, guys, with the Emperor coming as well at the bottom of the deck. They don't want to keep thinking about it. You know, and honestly, just to look at what's coming through at the bottom. Yeah, They want to rectify whatever it is that might still be between the both of you. For example, if there's any static between the both of you, they do not want this to be the experience. And I feel as though they're also coming to the determination, like something they could have been thinking about, is knowing exactly how they want to move forward towards you in a way that's not going to create that static, that's not going to create that strife. Because I think they are recognizing that a lot of it could have been because of how they were treating this connection. It could have gone back to their own shadows, something about how they have experienced love or romantic relationships or connections in the past hasn't been to the level that they are regarding this connection between you and them. Your energy, the attraction that they are feeling between you and them, it could be a frequency. I am getting that, and this might not be for everyone, but this does feel a little bit like a soul leveled connection, whatever that might look like for you. Because I do feel as though this person is taking it very seriously, and they are only recognizing this connection right now. A lot of people might think that Three of Cups feels like a third party energy, but that is not what I'm getting from this. I'm feeling, if anything, they want to be more social with you. They want to have those moments where they have those triumphs, they have those successes. They want this to be those positive outcomes. And I think that's the fantasies. That's what they're thinking about, guys. That they are not focusing on negative or poor mindset. And I think that accounts for why they don't want to move backwards. So, and again, you might think differently. You might be the type of person that wants to revisit the past. So use your discernment. You know, you could do whatever you want as far as whenever it is when you communicate with this person, if you need to rehash the past. But I will give you the heads up. This person, that's what they want to avoid. They don't want to go backwards. They don't want to relive anything because they want this to be directed in a positive way. They see the light that's guiding them. It's like that star on top of this tree. It's guiding them towards you. And if that's the frequency you are in, you might agree. You might not want to go backwards either. But again, some of you, a few of you might still be in that energy of not being happy with this person. So regardless of where you are at, I feel as though this could also be something that's on their mind, you know, revisiting the past, which is why they're hoping that that's not the energy that they are going to have when they move towards you, because that's what they are thinking about, guys. So I want to move on to the oracle. We do have a few, which I'm excited to see what's going to come through. Spirit. So we have the messages from animal spirit guides. I want to get a couple of animals, whether it's your energy or this person that is on your mind for this reading. You know, I want to see what they are thinking about when it comes to you and them. What type of animal energy is coming through? How do they view you? Or what energy are they sitting in? So we're going to leave it open, but we're going to get 2 cards and see what messages. Okay. We're going to just glance at, well, no, I love the bottom of the deck. Energy is a condor. So let's put the bottom of the deck over here, because I feel like that's more like the past energy, guys, where if this is someone that is coming in, they are thinking heavily. They are looking at this connection, you and them, in a way that is going to be something that they're circling. It could feel like I don't want to say that they are prey. or you're their prey. You know, they are seeking you out, but we also are getting that spider energy where they could be in the shadows. We got the mouse. You know, they could be kind of coming in a very, like we said before, a slower energy because of the earth energy. And that could be Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn is coming through very strongly in this reading, guys. But we are getting a lot of that fire. You know, they are looking at you in that fire way. That could be Leo. That could be Sagittarius too. We did get Temperance. And that could also be Aries. Six of Cups is mostly Scorpio energy. Okay. So we are getting a little bit of that water. So the feeling of the mouse, the spider, and the condor feels as though this person is coming in through perhaps a back door, or they might be wanting to come through in an energy that wasn't something that they showed you in the past. They want to do things differently, and in their mind, it's coming through as something that they are calculating and having to be very careful and delicate. You know, if they're experiencing this feeling of knowing that there's going to be a triumph, I do believe that this is something that they feel they had to do. They really did have to take a time out, and they could have been keeping tabs up on you. You know, the mouse and the spider and even the condor, it's giving that energy of even if there has been a distance, and I think that could be the experience or part of the experience with this person, group one, that you've already experienced or are experiencing, that through that distance, through that no contact, for those of you that resonate, it feels that they are still looking at you regardless, and whatever that means, whether it's creeping on you, or I wouldn't even say creeping, but it's like that attachment where they can't not help themselves. They check your profile, they look at your stories, and even if there is a block between the both of you, they may figure out a way to still kind of know where you're at, you know? So that could be the energy of the animals that are coming through. I feel though with spider, there is wisdom. There is that feeling of this person, even if they are being calculating or planning, and that could be, you know, accounting for why they feel that this is going to be a positive outcome. Like something about how they're going to come in is they know that this is what you want. They know that this is what you have been attracting, and they now are answering the call. I feel as though that this person is gaining that wisdom with the spider energy as well. They're trusting this, and it feels like that spark between the both of you that they can no longer deny. It's like that energy where they may have been ignoring it, and then now at this point, it's like a boiling, where now the spider is scurrying, scuttling along, you know, but instead of away, it's now toward. And even like to talk about the mouse energy, like mice could be very, we're not talking about rats, right? We're talking about mice. Could be, you know, that really cute, you know, I mean, for some people, but again, it depends on the type of mouse, or if you even want mice around, you know, that also plays into the reputation mice have. But when you really think about it, they are I'm thinking about Tom and Jerry, for those of you that know that cartoon, where Jerry was one of those cute little mice that always had to get away from Tom. And it does feel as though this person is smart. This person is coming in an intelligent way. And I feel as though you know this about them. And which is why they might be still sitting in their thoughts over this. You know, gosh, and I'm going to town with this energy. I'm looking at the timer, and this might be a long one for you guys, because It feels as though a lot of this has been brewing in their mind about you and them. Like, I am in no rush, but because I'm having now awareness, let's move on to the place oracle. I'm curious, like, if we could get some specifics as far as where they've been, especially if you haven't talked to this person in a while or in a couple of days, weeks, like what's going on. This could also be where they are mentally when it comes to you, like what's been on their mind, like what mental headspace are they in. So I love this deck, and I feel like Spirit does also align with this deck when it comes to when we shuffle for readings. So that being said, Spirit, what do we need to see? What's been on this person's mind about group 1 and what do we need to see, Spirit? Ooh. All right, restaurant. Gosh, that imagery that we got earlier of feeling, of wanting to be social, even if it is in a crowded restaurant, that them wanting to maybe even take you out on a date, but somewhere where it doesn't feel awkward, like it doesn't have to be so quiet, like Silence of the Lambs, you know. But we're also getting the imagery of cinema, so that could feel as though maybe something that doesn't create a space between you and them that feels empty. We're getting the desert. They don't want it to be like the desert, the quiet, the feeling of hearing crickets. So they might shy away if they are thinking or contemplating about taking you on a date, or, you know, finally committing to something in the external, especially if you and this person haven't seen each other face to face or haven't been around each other in a while or ever for some of you. But I feel as though they are considering the options, and they have a good plan, and you might feel very aligned to this plan. So I'm wondering if they're considering how matched you and this person are. So if this feels like a good idea for you, they know that, and they also feel like it's a good idea. So the energy I'm getting is maybe movie and dinner, somewhere where they don't have to be alone talking to you. They want to ease into that energy of just being around you and doing something that creates pleasure. So there might be a good movie that's out where you are excited about it and they are excited about it, and it takes the pressure of being in a situation where it could create awkwardness. I feel as though bathroom is coming into, it's like they want to cleanse the energy between you and them, especially if, you know, there has been some things that created that, like sort of injustice that we spoke about earlier. Like bathroom, especially this imagery of sterileness. What does it say? Pristine, cleanliness, water, and renewal. And that is the feeling of renewal, where things are feeling blessed in a way where I just got, like, for some reason, and I know dessert has 2 S's to spell, and this is desert, but for some reason I also got the imagery of you and them splitting a dessert. I feel like that's what they're thinking about. It just came out of nowhere, and even them, they could be ruminating over their plan in the bathroom as they are showering or taking a bath, or just the energy of when they are feeling that spiritual cleanse or physical cleanse. And it could be both. I do feel with the desert too, they are alone a lot in their thoughts. You know, even the feeling of the animals, the spider, the mouse, the condor, those feels, they feel like the type of animals that could be alone, you know, on their own, figuring out how to reel something in. The mouse wants the cheese. The spider wants to set up a web and get the fly. The condor wants the mouse, maybe. I don't know. But regardless, this is something on their mind, which is you, and that's what they want. And they're doing it when they are, or they're thinking about it when they are in a space. I feel like it's on their mind a lot, guys. And it is when they are alone. They might be alone a lot. They could also have a job or some sort of hobby where they experience it alone. You know, where they could kind of zone out or tune out and like think of other things. So that being said, let's see what they're thinking about. What else are they thinking about? I haven't used the Place Oracle on the channel for, I feel like a lot of readings. I have not used this in a while and I miss it. I love this deck, especially when we're talking about thoughts, you know, because what else is this person thinking about when it comes to you and them? And we do have a focused, you know, question. So I'm curious, like, besides like what they want to do, what they're planning, what else? Indulgence. Ooh. The Right is coming up. Indulgence is card number 47. The Right is card number 18. And we got a huge pentacle in the center, which is giving the Ace of Pentacles, guys. So it feels like it came out just for, potentially, for that reason alone. But this person could be really praying for you. We got Triumph, which is feeling a lot like the Six of Wands energy. This reminded me of the Three of Cups too. Reunions, that they just want to pamper you. They just want to see you happy. Death is coming through. There feels like there's something that they... And we already spoke about that with the Eight of Cups and the Justice in reverse. They just want to leave something in the past that is just not helping this situation or you and this person at all. I feel as though they're coming through very strongly to kind of just set precedents of how they want to create a different type of path and forge ahead with you in that sense where it feels good. Like they're gaining a sense of excitement because they're finally recognizing what this could actually be. Like this is going to fulfill them beyond their wildest imagination. And I'm wondering if that is what created the anxiety and the fear of them running away. Because even with the mouse, when they get scared, they run, they jet, they scurry away. Spider, same thing. Sometimes. Sometimes. And the condor, you know, might fly away if they get a little bit more spooked, if some bigger animal comes to spook them away, you know? So I feel as though this person could have been in that energy because they haven't understood the power of what this frequency was. They may not even have been in that energy to match that frequency, guys, especially because you're coming through as the Queen of Wands, which, in my opinion, is one of the strongest, most amazing queens out of all the queens. I identify with the Queen of Wands, not only because I'm a Leo, but just because of the energy of being in that frequency in the physical 3D and also in the internal, you know, in the 5D where you are just sound and at peace. You will... Wow, like you will create miracles all around you. And the unfoldment of reality is crazy, guys. It's crazy. I can't even explain how amazing it could be. And I feel as though if you resonate with that, this person is now getting attracted toward that frequency and wants to show you that they would and are taking this seriously. Well, bottom of the deck energy is disturbance. They don't want to be in a feeling of negativity. They don't want anxiety. They know that this is going to be a gain. They know that this is more like a blessing than a curse. And I feel as though this is something they could have prayed about, you know, where they do look at you as this is gonna lift them up And I'm also getting, for a lot of you, they could view you as someone that, like, they recognize as creating that energy within them where they want to be the best versions of themselves. Like, you are inspiring this change, this determination to be their better self, their highest self, where they may have not felt that type of creation, that vibrancy, that spark of forging a new path before them. I'm getting where they could have been very complacent. They could have been an autopilot. They could have been suffering from, old habits, old ways of thinking, something in their external. It could have been karmics, could have been external things that have really created this ripple in their alignment with self, with their soul. And something about your energy is coming in to give them that balance. And also, I feel like that awareness where they are not just, believing what they feel inside when it comes to you, but now in a intelligent way, they are also reacting to the logic that, wow, a group one is someone that's really going to create more fulfillment and be that hope. The person that I've been looking for this whole time. Gosh, guys, I could keep going. Like, it's just a really good energy. And I feel as though they want to, like, bask in it. They want to indulge in this. And I feel as though a lot of what that's being transformed for them is their thoughts from the past, especially if it, like, interfered with them taking committed action or sound action. It's like, even in this card, like the right, it's like there's an exorcist of someone, like, leaving behind their fear of being in a relationship or their fear of giving up their independence, their freedom, and maybe even recognizing that with you, they could receive more freedom. And maybe they want to be alone with you in that desert. They feel like they just want to be in your presence, even if they don't want to talk to you. And I could understand that too, because that could take the pressure off. I mean, I feel like, in my opinion, that's like the best type of experience if you want to take the pressure off. Like, go see a really good movie that you could really try to tune into, even if the person next to you is creating a little bit of a ripple in your nervous system. It could help having, like, a really fun entertainment in front of you to distract you from the energy next to you. And then even, like, with the feeling of, like, a loud restaurant where you can't even hear each other, so then you're forced to kind of be in silence, and that creates comfort in a way, a safety net in a way. So I feel as though that could be a good way to lean into the company of each other without that pressure. And that is what this person is thinking about specifically, guys. So it's up to you if you are feeling that vibe too, but let me know in the comments if you have a feeling that this person is going to come towards you, because I feel as though that's what's been on their mind. Like, what type of experience they want with you in the 3D. And again, they're taking it seriously, guys. So let's get our advice. You have the power to create the life you love. Remember that. Gosh, guys, I feel like this is like the Queen of Wands energy. Like, you have that spirit. You are in that frequency that is hard to miss. You could be attracting a lot of different energies, not just this person, and you know it, and they may know it, where you are a catch, so they want to they don't want to mess it up, maybe. So I feel as though you have that power, and Spirit is reminding you, especially when it comes to this person, if you also are excited about this person, that could put a, that could kind of give you a little bit of a zap too in your own nervous system, where it rocks your own peace if you allow it to, but I feel that this is a reminder of just remembering that you are aligned. You are in that frequency. Whoa. And I was going to say, and so am I. But here's the thing. That was too many cards. So let me see, Spirit. I'm like so tapped in right now. Okay. We have say goodbye to your past. Wow. And leave the baggage behind for good. Now, I can't tell you what to do. And Spirit is just coming through with this energy that we spoke about, with what this person wants. So this could also we could also be tapping in again to what they're thinking about. But if this is advice for you, maybe to align with the energy of letting go and releasing the past hurt or experience between you and this person, if you do want to realign with them, if you do see a future with this person, then allow yourself to release the past, even if your ego is involved. And usually that is the case, right? If there's been some hurt feelings, or if this person really did misstep or showed you or did something that wasn't really respectful, and it hurt you and it wounded your pride, it wounded your ego. And, and that could be hard to release, or even give a person a second chance. So if you are in the mindset of giving this person a second chance or realigning, then you do have to consider letting go of the past, if that's where you're at, right? And I believe that that is what this person wants to do. And again, if you're okay with that, then use your discernment. But, say goodbye to your past. That's kind of the message, though, that's coming in. So we also have, stop looking outside yourself for the answers. You already know them. So you are already aligned, guys. You already know. And again, that accounts for why this person might be coming towards you, especially if you and this person do share a spiritual frequency. For example, twins do have that frequency that is the shared space. So if you are at peace, that could be calling in this person. But if you don't resonate with that type of energy, that could also just be alignment, because energy is energy regardless. It's just a little bit more maximized in a spiritual connection, like a twin flame. But soulmates too could carry a very beautiful connection. But again, it depends on if you resonate. So let's move on. I don't want to hyper focus, because again, not all of you do. But it says speak up and speak out. Let your voice be heard loud and clear. So, to go back to the energy of the past, like we also got that feeling of, if you do have to express yourself, if you do have to set boundaries from whatever it is that did happen from the past, that could also be a message is, do what you got to do, but then it is important to move on. Allow this person a chance to live up to that boundary, that respect that you are, requesting or asking or expressing. And that also gives the person that same feeling of being allowed to express something toward you when they themselves feel they need to set up a boundary. It goes both ways. So if you are aligned with self, you should be okay to go into something that might be a little uncomfortable. So I feel like that is what speak up and speak out is. It's not about forgetting the past, but it's about facing it and then being allowed to move on from it, not carrying it into the next stage between you and this person. Okay? Bottom of the deck energy, we have life can be hard and life can be wonderful. Which will you focus on? This person is focusing on the wonderful side of things. They are finally, I feel, especially if they weren't in this mindset previously, but that energy of just knowing that there's going to be success with you, that they see the bright future with you, the outcome that they're fantasizing about, they really do believe in its existence in the 3D. So if you are more, and that might not be for everyone, guys, but to be at peace is also to detach from outcome. Good or bad, it's irrelevant. And I've learned that it's not about like looking at what the good outcome is, but not attaching to any outcome. So that could be a reminder for you to be in that energy. Now, this person might not be in that alignment to recognize not to attach to outcome, because I do feel like for them there is an attachment, but again in the positive sense. But to go back to your advice, you could also have hope and be, all right, I'm sorry, I feel like I'm going in cycles, but the point I'm trying to make is, and I'm speaking from someone that is going through a spiritual awakening. I'm experiencing a very deep spiritual awakening where being present and knowing my soul and what that means. So I'm really trying to express that and it's hard to explain it from the ego, from just words, but some of you get it. And those of you that get it, I'm speaking to you, try to release the attachment to outcome. Because for your journey, it's not about what happens in a positive or negative. It's how it unfolds for your higher good, regardless. Okay? So I hope that made sense. I love you guys. If this resonated and you've stayed this long, don't forget to send a comment or a like or subscribe if you haven't. I would love to see you again. And that being said, happy holidays if I haven't said that before. I love you and bye. Group 2, welcome to your reading today. If you chose the Cardinal Medicine card, and it's card number 3, and it says, "Thyself bleeds of sacredness and honor fit for the gods. You are worth all the seas and all the skies and all the desires you hold inside." Wow. So it's talking about worthiness, the message that you are worth everything. And even like with the number 3, it's giving the energy of Empress. Regardless, you could have chose it for any reason, even the red birds. I love red birds. Cardinal Medicine feels the energy of just something that's of, I'm feeling a vibrancy, an awakening of some kind. And that could also have to do with your worth. And that being said, let's move on, because we are asking about this person that you are currently thinking about. Regardless of how Cardinal Medicine fits in, we'll see. But, what are they thinking about when it comes to you and them? What's been on their mind? Regardless of whatever connection you have with them. We are using the Light Seers Tarot for your reading. I love this deck. So again, what's been on their mind about you, group 2? What do we need to see, Spirit? Thank you so much for coming through as always. For the collective, for group 2's higher good, what do we need to see? What has been on this person's mind about group 2 and themselves? Thank you. Group 2. Group 2, what do we need to see? What's been on this person's mind about you and them? Regardless of whatever connection you might have, let's see how they perceive it. You know, what's on their mind about your connection? How do they... Let's see. Spirit, what do we need to see? Ooh, okay. The Queen of Swords is our first card, which could be an air sign, and that could be Aquarius, Libra, Gemini energy coming in. We have card number 10, the Wheel, also known as the Wheel of Fortune, in the reversal. And this is Pisces energy, which is water. Noticing the chips, it's reminding me of the casino. Gambling. Okay, let's get all the cards though. We're gonna get 5 and then we're gonna get the clarifiers, guys. What's been on their mind about you and them? Group 2. We have the 8 of Pentacles in the reversal. The Page of Cups upright coming through. Okay, that makes sense. And we'll talk about it in a moment. Sorry if it sounds like I'm teasing. I just want to make sure that the right messages are coming through. But this is card number 11, Justice, Libra energy, which is more air. Page of Cups is water as well, which could be Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. We also had Pisces energy come through already. 3 of Pentacles in the reverse coming through with the Queen of Swords. The Emperor flipping over upright. This is card number 4, Aries energy, which is fire. What is on this person's mind? What else? The Hermit in reverse, which is card number 9, Virgo energy. Virgo is earth. We're getting a lot of different types of energy. So we have the 3 of Swords coming through too. And it's coming with the Page of Cups. Okay. King of Cups in the reverse with Justice. Bottom of the deck is 5 of Wands in the reverse with the 9 of Cups. The Chariot after that. And then we have the Magician. I wonder if this person feels like they're thinking about getting their heart broken by you. You know, I can't ignore the 3 of Swords. It kind of changed the trajectory of this reading in a way, but I still feel the same messages are coming through because I think for the majority of you, this is this person's mindset. You know, what's going on in their mind when it comes to you and them. I feel as though they are looking at a negative outcome. They're attaching to the feeling of if they were to be vulnerable with you, if they were to show you their emotions, they might get rejected. They might get their heart completely broken. I'm also feeling like the red of the heart is reminding me of the red in the cardinal medicine. And just the feeling of medicine could feel it feels as though you're taking medicine to heal. This person and you could be in a current energy where things are, I don't know, going through some getting through or getting past some heavier emotions. I'm wondering if there was a little bit of competition for this person or if that's their perspective. So something did not go as planned. I'm wondering if you are not happy with them. That might not be for all of you guys, but we are getting the Queen of Swords energy with the 3 of Pentacles in the reverse. It could feel, okay, and this could be the majority. You know, look at this queen, for example, you could say reflection. She seems very calm, at peace, even the energy behind her. We have the fog. It almost feels like it's lifting. You see a little bit of crashing waves, but then in a way, you see it also calm. So it's the feeling of the Queen of Swords is taking control of the external, of her surroundings. And it's giving like she has this wisdom, whether you're male or female, guys, okay? You're coming through as someone that is wise. And again, you could have you could be a little disappointed in this person. You could be reflecting on some of the things that didn't really go according to plan. This person could be thinking about that. They could be looking at you as someone that no longer is going to make it easy for them to come back in or to communicate. I feel as though whatever this Three of Swords is, whether it was an ending between the both of you or some sort of heartbreak, this person feels or is thinking about that you might be in an energy where you are not looking toward them right now. You might be taking a time out. You could also be blocking them in some way. The Three of Pentacles in the reversal could feel where you aren't really allowing or being open to communing with this person or working together in a sound, peaceful way. It's giving the energy where you might have started off being mad or upset, but now you're good. And they might be thinking about this where, gosh, group two, are they good without me? Are they good on their own? Especially for those of you that could be experiencing some sort of no contact or disconnect. With the Three of Swords could feel a little bit where there is pain. This person is thinking about either you coming toward them in a romantic way or vice versa. And there's been some sort of heartbreak that evolved or developed past this initial stage. One of the things that caught my attention when I was shuffling was this person, but also like the feet. It's like this person is in reflection of where they were led through their actions. They may have misstepped. Page could also be a little bit of that immature energy. Someone not all the time, but it could be where this person may have done things in a reactive way as opposed to a logical, sound, mature way. And that could have backfired in some sense. They might be reflecting on what they did, what action they took, or it could also be what action they did not take. We're getting the Justice coming through right next door to the Page of Cups, and we see a big scale on this sword that this person is balancing. Also a reflection of self, which I'm getting a lot of, where this person is not only thinking about you and them, but also giving awareness of where they, where they stood in this energy or this experience between the both of you. Like, what part did they play in this? And I do feel as though with Justice, it's giving where they are now seeing the truth in some way. Something is becoming very clear to them. And it's through self-reflection. I feel it could be something that they did or did not act upon that they are reflecting on. And with the King of Cups coming in the reverse with Justice, they may not have really been aware of how they felt. This could be someone that is in complete excess of emotions. When the King of Cups is upright, it is a person that knows exactly how they feel. It could be a feeling of love, someone that has balance, that feels peace. The King of Cups could also be someone that knows when to hold back, knows when to move forward. And they are doing it in a way that is very aligned. But we're getting the energy in the reverse. And I'm feeling with justice. It's as though this person is reflecting on where their emotions led them. This could be them running away. If there was a runner chaser type of energy that could have created some heartbreak, it could also be where they could have overdid things and you ran away. So take energy as it fits as far as roles, but something about the action. And I feel as though the action that was taken or not taken was because of the eruption of emotions that this person may not have had control of, but they are now reflecting on wanting to balance that. You know, I saw the magician in the reversal, and it could be like the reflection of someone knowing that they don't necessarily have all the available resources or tools to move forward in an aligned, sound way. So, depending on your experience with this person, because again, this is a general reading, so it's going to look different depending on your connection and what actually happened in the 3D. But so, for some of you, for example, it could be this person being led elsewhere because they didn't know how to control their emotions or they felt too much. And again, the page could represent a little bit of that immaturity, especially like this page, for example, is sitting down, looking like they're reflecting. So it could be more so for the majority of you in inaction, even with looking at Eight of Pentacles right next to, I should say, Page of Cups is in between this energy with Justice and the Eight of Pentacles in the reversal. Someone lacking the ability to work for something or work towards something, especially with the Hermit coming through in the reverse. This person really could have sabotaged or didn't fight for something. I'm also looking at the bottom of the deck energy of Five of Wands. If you are, someone to be fought for, you are someone that is a little bit outstanding to them in the fact that their experience with you has left them feeling a little bit shook, because now it's as though they are now reflecting and seeing the correct perspective, or what they perceive to be the correct perspective of their inaction for the majority of them. Because I think with the Hermit in reverse, it doesn't feel, because here's the thing, when I see the Hermit, it could be someone that is in search of clarity. Someone that is purposefully, consciously taking a moment or a time out to reflect on what path to take, to perhaps try to find the light in the darkness through challenges, through a dark time. They're trying to, find that inner wisdom. And with the Hermit in reverse, it could feel as though this person is drowning, a little lost, which is what could have prevented them from moving forward in a mature, sophisticated, clear way. And I believe that could have led to an imbalance of sorts. We got the Emperor coming up, right? And I feel as though this person could in fact have their own self-confidence when it comes to self. That feeling of self-fulfillment, self-mastery. The Emperor is someone that has mastered self and could be someone that is very confident, secure, stable. This person, look at them, they're sitting, which at first I thought was a huge beanie bag or one of those huge, comfortable. God, I can't even say comfort. Comfortable. My bad. Jeez. But like that comfortable little, but when you really look at it, it looks like a planet that this person is sitting on with a chess piece. I believe that is a pawn. It's it's the control, where the emperor knows they have control. But with the wheel coming in the reversal, they could have lost that control. They could have lost the sense of direction. And for someone that is sitting on top of the world, that does give a little bit of a disconnect. Like maybe they disconnected from really the way they should have come toward this connection when it came to you and them. I really do feel where with the Three of Swords, it could have led to, even if you and this person, for example, weren't in a relationship, and that, because again, that might not be for all of you. This could also just imply heartbreak in whatever degree that you and this person experience. It could also just be this person's experience and not necessarily yours, because I'm not sure exactly if you are reflecting, but I do believe at this point, this person is kind of in the thick of it, where they're now seeking some sort of comfort, where they need to heal something at this point. They want to bring justice as well. That is something that they are thinking about, because gosh, I'm getting a little bit of a message, and I feel kind of like they feel embarrassed. They feel embarrassed. I'm not sure what that means for them, but something about what they did or how they acted or the actions that they took or did not take is leaving them feeling a little embarrassed, because I feel as though as they are reflecting on you, they know now that you are someone that, was of high value, is of high value, and they may not have put any effort into that, guys. And it could be because they weren't ready. They could have been really stuck in their thoughts over it. They could have been distracted by something else, someone else, something else in their past could have gotten in the way, where they may not have been ready for a new beginning with someone, especially if you and this person are a little bit newer in each other's energy, depending on your connection. And that could, also be in different type of levels depending on you. Okay, so before we move on to the oracle, and again, this is an in-depth reading, I'm realizing, because this is gonna be a longer one, but I feel as though the energy, the collective energy that I'm picking up on for the readings today, like whatever's going on in this connection for you, group 2, it does feel as though this person is in the thick of it too. Like this is definitely shaking them up a little bit. And if anything, I feel like it's good. It's a good thing for them, because they are reflecting on self. I'm wondering if this person has been a lot more selfish in the past. But I wanted to see Three of Swords. To what extent? What's going on today? Three of Swords. Page of Swords in reverse. This person could definitely be keeping tabs on you. Four of Cups. They were complacent, guys. The Four of Cups is the energy of someone missing the opportunity. Either consciously or subconsciously, they may not have recognized or have even been ready, guys. And again, it depends on the person. It depends on the experience that this person experienced, because it's going to look differently for a lot of them. But I feel regardless, the Four of Cups energy is someone that is just not ready. They're not engaged with the opportunity that's in front of them. For whatever reason, it could be also that this Three of Swords could be something in their past. So if you and this person have no history with one another, and there hasn't been heartbreak between the both of you, especially if this is a very new connection, then I think you already are sensing that this person is healing perhaps from something that has left a little bit of a heartbreak within them. And I do believe that this is of their own doing, because a lot of what they're reflecting on is their own inaction. Now, they are also thinking about the inaction in the current state of affairs between you and them. And I'm wondering, But that's the thing. I don't feel like they're detaching from this energy. They are still holding on to it, especially with the Page of Swords coming in the reverse. They are, it's usually that energy of someone trying to find information. In the reverse, you and this person may not be communicating in the 3D. So that means that this person could be gathering or collecting some sort of information behind the scenes in the shadows, whether it's about you or something else that's distracting them. It could be more than one thing externally that is interfering. Something karmic could be something that is like an interference right now for this person. Might not be for all of you guys though. So again, this could also be just the energy between the both of you. So take that as it fits, because remember, this is a general reading and a lot of you have different types of connections and situations with this person, which is why I want to look at the oracle, because I want to see, with the messages from animal spirit guides, what animal, what energy, what's the perspective of what they're showing up in or how they're viewing you. We're going to keep it open, but what's on their mind about you and them, spirit? What do we need to see? What animals? All right, we have seagull. We're going to get one more. Condor came out in pile 1, but we got 2 birds coming through. And the chameleon. Interesting. Again, that feeling of someone staying at a distance, a little bit camouflaging. Oh my gosh. New bottom of the deck, guys. You can't make it up. Cardinal. And I feel like Spirit did that on purpose. We're going to keep it out here. We got another bird at the bottom. A lot of bird energy, guys, with the cardinal medicine. Now, that could imply a lot of different things, especially with the chameleon here to mix things up. Because again, we also have the blue heron at the bottom, at the new bottom of the deck. I feel as though this person is keeping things at a distance. They are keeping tabs. It's like the energy of a bird seeking their prey, are looping, are cycling. And we did get the Wheel of Fortune as well. Like, things to this person aren't over. They could be risking things by staying distant. I also feel like they are thinking about what risks they would take in your direction if they were to come into your direction. But right now, they might be going through a very tumultuous time in their life. I feel like you're getting this person, especially if this is a new person to you, where this 3 of Swords you feel is more in the external. It's like this person is in the thick of dealing with something that could have been an ending that shook their world, where now if they are looking, look at these birds, 6 of Swords, more bird energy with hunks. Like, they're thinking a lot. They're in their head. Air energy is giving where this person is just overloaded with thoughts when it comes to you and them. And it could also be just other thoughts of their past, thoughts of whatever this heartbreak is, whether it's between the both of you or not. Jeez. There's some sort of hunking war in the next hood, I guess, because it's not in front. But that's the nature of my block. But yeah, they're going to town. And it's like these birds are staying away, but they're looking at the turmoil. And I feel as though gosh, I just can't imagine. Like, hearing these hunks, I'm getting distracted. I'm looking at all these birds. It's like this person can't get out of their own noise that is like just circling around their head. It's like that feeling like when you're watching a cartoon and like one of the cartoons gets hit on the head and you see all these birds and they look dazed and confused. It's like that's the imagery I'm getting with this person in the aftermath of whatever this tower was for them. They may have had to walk away from something, and that is what they might be dealing with. The Hierophant in reverse, something could have been broken in their experience with someone else, and it could also be the experience between the both of you. But I think the majority of you that are coming through this reading, it might be something external that this person is moving on from, but they could still be in the thick of it. And so, like, even with the cardinal medicine, you see like the two birds. It's reminding me of like that Two of Cups energy, where if this person wants to land somewhere, whether it's a renewal with you, if especially if this is a heartbreak between the both of you, or if it's a renewal for them with a new person, which is you, are they going to land next to you? Because they are viewing you as someone that is calm and clear-headed. The Queen of Swords comes through in a very sophisticated way. You can't mess with the Queen of Swords. Like she gives, whether you're male or female, she gives that energy of seeing through the holes, like knowing what's up, like not putting one over her. She could be very calm, collected, in control. And if you do have your walls up, especially if this is a heartbreak between the both of you, it's like they know that you are now like seeing and viewing this in an intelligent way. Like you're not coming in an emotional uproar where maybe they are the ones that came through in that sense or ran in that energetic sense. Okay, I want to see place oracle. Mentally, where are they at, place oracle, or even in the physical? What do they imagine? What's going on, spirit? What can we see? Wow, we're going to town today. What's been on their mind about you and them? I'm already loving this topic because it's just, I feel like it's in depth, which I like it. I like it. There's a lot going on a lot of messages, I should say. So let's see. Spirit, what else do we need to see? What is this person? What's been on this person's mind? What do we need to see about you and them? What have they been thinking about you and them? Are we taking these, Spirit? No. Trust the process, guys. I always check in and it didn't feel like a yes. So let's move on. But what has been in their mind, Spirit? What do we need to see? I need to see. I saw a flash of a cemetery. Could represent death. All right, we have beach. We have laboratory. Let's get one more and then maybe bottom of the deck energy. What is this? Oh, garden. I don't think I've ever seen this. Gosh, I love when my oracle decks and my tarot decks surprise me, but I haven't seen this maybe ever. Garden. And then bottom of the deck, we have countryside. So is this person taking a vacation? Are you and this person kind of at a distance where this, could also be what this person is kind of trying to balance things out in their mind space, especially with this bird energy. Even the chameleon could feel where someone just wants to disappear into the background and go with the flow. The beach, countryside, and even the garden, it feels like the energy of flow, of nature. Cardinal medicine, the feeling of this person is healing or striving to gain that balance. Laboratory is giving also the energy of they could be working. They could be distracting themselves with the Four of Cups that came through, through this heartbreak. They could be, work hard, relax harder. Because something about their thoughts is right now in a cylinder, I wanted to say cylinder, but I feel like it's just fluttering around. Like they can't really escape it. However, they're trying to transmute it in some way. And I think for them, it's being aware of it. Like they're starting to smell the flowers. They're starting to be present to recognize that their perception matters. And if they were keeping their head stuck and, not really recognizing what was in front of them, they want to heal that. Okay? And it could have been beyond their control, guys. Not to, make excuses for this person regardless. Because again, I don't know what happened exactly, especially if this heartbreak, this Three of Swords is between you and them. If there was an ending, for example, between you and them, like I don't know what exactly created it. So use your discernment with this person depending on what happened. But I do feel even if there wasn't a ending or a breakup, it still feels like heartbreak. So let's get into the Pantha because I want to see what else they are thinking about before we get your final messages and advice. With the Pantha, what's been on their mind, Spirit? What else do we need to see? What they are thinking about when it comes to group 2 and themselves. What do we need to see, Spirit? Thank you so much. What do we need to see? Wow, I just keep going. All right, blessing at the bottom of the deck. We're going to put it down here. I realize makes space for the aesthetics. We have saving as the new bottom of the deck energy, which again, they could be focusing on business or trying to distract themselves in some way. We have introvert, protest, calm, strategy, illness. Wow, look at the pawn. Oh my God, guys. As soon as I put it down, I could not miss it. Look at that chessboard. We got the emperor holding the pawn. You might not be strategizing. You might have, with the Queen of Swords, with the Three of Pentacles in reverse. You could be the one that's like, I'm done. I'm over it. Whereas this person now is the one that is reflecting on strategizing of what this would look like if they were to move forward in your direction. Which I'm not sure if that's their intention right now. I do feel as though this person could be more so on the side of still, rebuilding something in some way, especially if they did experience a tower. A tower could also feel very abrupt where they didn't see it coming. Something could have been pulled underneath them. The Three of Swords, it could be that. If there was an ending, something that created this heartbreak where they may not even have understood that they would be in this position, and now that they are, it's giving, like they're protesting. Like now it's like, oh dang, like what did I create? And they're in their head about it. They are feeling dazed. It's like they got knocked out. It's like they have a concussion. And they're getting like these lucid dreams of everything that kind of unfolded. I do feel like one of the things that they want to create between both of you guys to go back to the place energy is something more softer, more calm, more at peace. And I feel that this person feels it starts within them. This person could be someone that keeps to themselves. If you and this person are already in a relationship, the imagery of this couple, like completely with their backs toward each other, face deep into their tech, really ignoring the person next to you. How sad is that? And I'm sorry if that's the experience you and this person have had, or if that is the experience this person is used to. I feel as though this person can also just be that type of person that needs to refill their own cup from whatever it is that they are healing from. And that could also imply that they may not or have not been ready for that Two of Cups energy. So that's where the resistance could be a little bit, maybe. Even like her braid feels like it's been cut off. It could feel as though the string theory, like the Chinese proverb, the red thread that connects two souls, it just feels as though they are creating that disconnect through their own energy. And even if they're not an introvert, that could just be their current experience where they are kind of taking a time out in their mind because it's too much, And that could feel like illness, mental health, I'm getting. And they could also literally be sick, time sensitive. It is winter, depending on where you are in the world, or allergies, seasonal flu, that could literally be the case for this person as well. So there could be a lot like compounding whatever is the energy between the both of you right now. But I do feel that, what's been on their mind about you, I wonder, look at this, a person doing tarot. And here we are doing a tarot reading. They might know that you are into tarot, or they might know that you are, reflecting and doing your own thing. And you're happy. Even if that doesn't express you, fate also feels like the Wheel of Fortune. Like this was meant to unfold the way it was meant to unfold. And I feel like this person understands that, and they are starting to reflect on how it is all blowing up in their face, almost like a laboratory experiment gone wrong, And I feel as though now it's like they are, gosh, I'm getting like the message angry at the universe, or they might think you are angry at the circumstances. Someone is upset over how it all went down, but I feel as though that's this person's reflection, trying to make peace with that, So, and let's not forget about justice. Justice comes through when someone is trying to rectify a situation, perhaps. And that could be where strategy is, where this emperor is wanting to come in a confident way. But now at this point, this person has to kind of think about it, because how bad did this go? Because it created some heartbreak, guys. And it's like this emperor lost their cool. It shook them up. It shook them up a little bit. I want to see your advice. I'm also getting a message too, looking at blessing, where they might be hoping for a blessing, or, it's like a blessing in disguise, whatever is the current experience between the both of you, even if it does feel like a tower moment has been created abruptly. That could be really difficult, guys. Tower moments are not easy, for the most part. It could feel in the physical, it could be like a breakdown, an ending. It could be a complete change in someone's 3D experience. It depends on the level. It depends on the degree of the experience or situation. Now, if this was a breakup between you and this person, or if this person experienced something in their past, for example, a breakup or an end, it created, it created a space where this person needed to fill it up with healing. And that is the present current energy, guys. And I'm wondering, like with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, how long it's going to take this person to kind of get out of this. Because I feel it might take a while. This Emperor doesn't look like they're in a rush. But again, eventually the bird, it has to land somewhere. I've never seen a blurred. I don't know what I'm saying. I have never seen a bird fly indefinitely. Eventually the bird is gonna land. And we got so much air energy. And whether the bird lands on the branch next to you might be what this person is strategizing over. So, with that being said, let's see our final messages, your advice on this connection. Gosh, guys, if you're going through some challenging energy, I'm so sorry. I don't know exactly what happened, especially you and this person, if this is a breakup between you and this person. But let's see. Let's see your advice, Spirit. What advice do we need to have for group 2 in this energy? Okay. You have the power. This has been coming up a lot, which goes to show the collective that's coming through on this channel is strong. You guys are strong. You guys are capable. You guys are amazing. You have the power. This is also giving like the Queen of Wands energy where you are just lit up. You know, yes, it's coming through as the Queen of Swords, your energy, but that's just how you are reflecting in with this person or how this person is reflecting on where you are at with them. But really, I feel Spirit is saying you have that power, that frequency. Bottom of the deck, stop pushing against what is, align with it, and move on. Look at that astronaut. Like, taking the new step into a new adventure, into the unknown, whether it's with this person or not. Gosh, I couldn't help but look at the new bottom of the deck because I've never seen this. It's another, I guess you would say, astronaut. Find ways to lighten up and not take everything so seriously. If you're coming through in an energy that is too heavy, I think Spirit is reminding you to remember that you do have that spark, that creative, alignment with self that Spirit is reminding you to maybe get back to. Don't push against how you're currently feeling. If you got to go through some heavy emotions, don't fight against the tide. It says check in with your body and release any tension you are carrying. It's reminding me of the chakras. Usually you could pinpoint where you're feeling the pain. If you're going through heartbreak, you might feel it in your stomach area. You might feel it in your chest. You might feel it in your throat, especially if you feel like you weren't able to express yourself. So maybe check in with your body, is seeing where the pain is storing, especially if you're feeling pain or feeling tension. Like, where are you feeling it in your body? Even if that means meditating to get a little bit more tuned in to the energy in your body. But if you're used to checking in with your body, you could kind of pinpoint it, like right now. Time sensitive, and again, this might not mean anything for all of you, but we just had a really amazing football game. I'm in Chicago. I'm a Bears fan, and we just won a really exciting game against our number one nemesis, Green Bay. And if you're a Green Bay fan, Green Bay Packers fan, then, I love that you're still coming to the reading. Let's make sure that doesn't interfere with what we do here on the channel. But the point is, I'm in such a good frequency because of that win, and I could feel it coursing through my body still in a good way. So if you're feeling like a negative emotion, you could feel it either coursing through your whole body or resonating within a certain point. So to move on, Spirit is just saying check in. Where is it? What do you need to heal? You could use some self-care time like now. Schedule it in. Guilt is a normal feeling. Just breathe in and let it go. If you are reflecting on maybe even like, gosh, I'm thinking of the Queen of Swords. That energy could be very biting, very vocal, very communicative. You could have said something sharp, for those of you that resonate, and that could have produced some regret or guilt. Spirit is coming in to say, let it go. Whatever happened. Spilt milk. You can't cry over spilt milk. Look at how beautiful the imagery is in the background. You might think that the waves are crashing, but it's still giving that calm feeling as long as you breathe and check in with your body. Stop pushing against what is and allow things to unfold at this point. Allow medicine, especially cardinal medicine, to enter in your own awareness, guys. Remember, you have the power and you are at a beautiful frequency. Even if you're not feeling it or in that frequency currently, it's okay. Just remember that it is going to balance itself out eventually. Nothing lasts forever. The bad, the good, it's always evolving. So allow yourself to go with the flow. Schedule in some me time, however that feels, whatever that means for you to help you get into a good sense of alignment. Okay. So this is where we're leaving your reading. I love you guys. Wow, this was another long reading, but I hope if you stayed this long, I'm hoping it resonated. Let me know if it did by sending a like, commenting. Please subscribe if you haven't. I would love to see you again. I love you guys. Bye. Hey guys, welcome to your reading group 3. If you chose the Frost and it's card number 16, which 16, could represent the Tower if we're looking at major arcana, but let's not stay attached to that. We're going to see how this card plays into the reading. It may or may not, but you chose it for a reason. So let's get into it. So we are using the wild reflections for today's reading for you, group 3. We're asking about this person that you are currently thinking about. And, getting down to the detail about what's been on their mind. What's been on their mind about you and them. As I hear the ambulance in the background. What's been on their mind about you and them. Thank you so much, Spirit, for coming through. And as always, I don't know why these cards feel extra slippery right now. Let me give it one more shuffle. And then I'll cut the deck. Okay, that felt good. What's been on their mind? Oh, I'm feeling this energy already. Okay, let's tap in for a moment. Thank you so much, Spirit, again for coming through. May the best messages come through for group 3 today as we are asking about this person that's on your mind. What's been on their mind about you and them? What's their perspective, regardless of whatever connection, relationship, situation? Let's see. We have the 4 of Swords. As our first card, we're going to get 5 and the clarifiers before we start talking, guys, because I do want the full picture. Okay. Does this want to be upright or in reverse, Spirit? 2 of Swords. That's a definite. Okay, that's what I thought. 2 of Swords in the reverse coming through. Let's see. Spirit, what else do we need to see? What's been on this person's mind? The 3 of Swords in the reverse coming up for you guys. We have the Knight of Wands in the reversal. Let's get our 5th card, and then we're getting our clarifiers. What's on their mind about you and this person? We have the 3 of Cups in the reverse, next to the Knight of Wands in reverse. Interesting. 3 of Wands, coming up with the 4 of Swords. What are they thinking about? Queen of Cups. Okay. Where is this headed, Spirit? What's on their mind about group 3 in them? That's too many cards. 9 of Wands coming up, but I want to make sure the right cards come through. Let me give it one more shuffle just in case. What do we need to see, Spirit, for 3 of Swords in the reversal? We have the 6 of Pentacles. Oh. 10 of Cups. Coming up with the Knight of Wands in reverse. And then what else do we need to see, Spirit, with the 3 of Cups? Okay. The Chariot in the reversal with the 3 of Cups in reverse. This is interesting energy, guys. 7 of Cups in the reverse. The Lovers upright. 6 of Cups in reverse. This person is definitely still staying attached to your energy, and whatever degree that may look like. I feel as though you and this person could be at a disconnect. I'm wondering if this has been a connection or relationship that has ended. It might have been a while since it's ended. So enough time for you, or at least this person, to feel that they are in a state of healing where they are balancing out their energy. The flow is, they're reversing the flow and expending the energy, and it's entering inside themselves, and they're able to expend it. The feeling, regardless, is them getting closer to alignment. So what's on their mind about you and them? I feel as though they are reflecting about you. You are heavily on their mind. There is some sort of yearning as well. 4 of Swords, we usually, in the original tarot, you might see a knight lying down with its arms crossed over its chest. In deep reflection, there might be a picture in the background of a family or something like that, implying that you are on their mind. They might be taking a time out. You and this person might not be communicating. There might be a distance. However, I do feel as though they might be looking at photographs. I'm getting a message that they could also be reflecting on, I don't know, a past vacation or travels. Did you guys travel together at one point? That might not be for everyone. That could be very specific. But for some of you, they might be reflecting on that, the energy, part of their nostalgic memories. I feel as though they are looking at, the current energy and having a hard time looking past, or I should say in the future. There's like a block. They can't see past a certain point. I do feel as though they are yearning, though. I don't think they've moved on. At first, when I saw the Knight of Wands in the reverse, I feel as though this person could be taming themselves. Like, I'm not getting the energy that they are dating or seeking outside pleasure from other sources. Knight of Wands could indicate like that player energy, but I'm not really getting that with the full spread. It's more so that they are just not seeking or engaging in any other potential possibility or options. Even like the 3 of Cups coming up in the reversal next door is giving where this person is closed off to other options, other opportunities. Like they're not searching. They're not thirsting for anything other then perhaps you. But that doesn't mean they're heading towards you. I do feel as though they're not taking action. They're not taking action for other opportunities, but I also feel as though there is a distance between you and them where they're not inclined to move in your direction either. So keep that in mind, guys. I feel, if anything, this person is closing off. I'm wondering if that's the energy that frost is bringing. Even just the feeling of frost. Someone being a little cold, a little distance. You see a lonely candle out in the wilderness, but it's still burning. It's still burning pretty bright. Let me read the message. I forgot to read it for you guys. Ice cold melting in time, a frozen glance at what lies behind, what lies ahead, what lies within, and the chilling frost of thy undead. Wow, feel free to screenshot this if you want to internalize it. Hopefully it's not blurry. But I did get the feeling of them not being able to look or see past a certain point into their future. Again, this could be a little bit of their blocked energy, especially if they are still healing. Or, if you and this person ended a big relationship, they're not in a rush to move to another relationship. They are still attaching to your energy. I'm getting. And I also saw, we got the Lovers, but we got the Six of Cups in reverse. It might not be a healthy attachment, but either way, you and this person have a long history. Good, bad, ugly, all of it. I feel like this person knows this. That still feels as though you are still in their energy field, especially with the Four Swords. Like they're still thinking about you guys. They're still reflecting. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that their cup is full to give love to anyone, even you. I feel as though they are feeling a little empty. That could be part of their healing. They're now attempting to fill their own cup, but right now it does feel a little depleted. You could also understand, especially if this is mutual, meaning if you and this person broke up. Now, if you and this person did not break up, this could also be this person that you're thinking about attaching to someone from their past. That might not be for everyone, but take that as it fits, depending on your situation with this person. But I think the majority of you, it could be both of you, that are healing from something you experienced together. I feel as though they also think about you and the nature that you come through as. The Queen of Cups is very loving. The Queen of Cups, with the Two of Swords in reverse, and we did make sure that if it wanted to come upright or in the reverse. I feel like that's a good sign for this person, because usually Two of Swords upright could be someone that could feel like stuck energy. But notice that what looks like a warrior, it's giving like Brave, the Disney movie, for those of you that know that movie. And they are using a bow and arrow, and look at how they are blindfolded, but they know exactly how to get to the bullseye. Which doesn't really feel like stuck energy, right? When you think about that imagery of someone being able to get to the bullseye, even blindfolded, like but could also be that they are meditating and feeling their way through to alignment, though it's coming up in the reverse. So I feel like they might feel a little disconnected from your energy in some way. I also feel like they might be peeking, like taking the blindfold off to see what's going on with you. They could be keeping tabs on you, for example. They may not know how to proceed when it comes to you as well. I feel they might be a little confused. This could be why they are in deep reflection. which is what the Four of Wands and Three of Wands is giving. I'm sorry, Four of Swords and Three of Wands is giving. And look at this guy also has a bow and arrow, and it's in a moving boat, a canoe, or whatever you want, whatever it is. But it's almost as though you trust that even this person is going to get the bullseye. So are they trying to get you back, but you keep moving away from them? Or it's like they're coming at you in a speeding boat. They're coming at you blindfolded, but they're not sure how to aim for the target. And gosh, if they are looking at you like the Queen of Cups, look at how beautiful you are. I was looking at that oyster. Where is that oyster? The Ace of Cups in the reversal. And gosh, if that's the same imagery where you are holding this beautiful pearl, oyster, whatever you would say that is, a snail, in your hands, whether you're male or female, and you are just dancing with the joy of life, your surroundings, your energy. And where they might feel depleted, it's like they are feeling the opposite. And I feel as though that's just their current experience. That's how they're handling whatever their healing journey is taking them. I do feel as though that they are seeing you as someone that is not stuck. They might be looking at you as someone that is taking action in your own life. You could be very successful in some way. They're viewing you as someone that is doing very good for themselves. I'm hearing the word abundant. You are just on top of the world right now. They might be viewing you as living in your higher self, coming from a place of love, where they might be coming from a place of cold and bitterness. Like this is the aftermath of their healing, whatever it is that they're healing, whether it's with you or someone else. But like I said, I think the majority of you, it's going to be you and this person. It's history with one another. And again, it could have been a long history you and this person have shared, which could account for why this person is feeling a little disconnected to the future. So let's talk about the Ten of Cups. It is coming up right. We see a family. We see a rainbow in the background. We see all these shells. They're on a beach, on a path. We see kind of the diversity of ages, there's two kids, boy, girl, husband, wife, and they look pretty happy. But it's coming through with the Knight of Swords in the reverse, someone that's not feeling confident. We see a dog in the canoe, another canoe imagery. Dog, I'm thinking of loyalty. And it's reminding me of like that stuck energy of the Six of Cups being in reverse, where this person still feels attachment to you in some way that could be keeping them from their own worth or vision of the future. It's as though they are knowing what they want. They know what type of future they would want. They imagine, but they don't know how to get there. They don't know how to access it. It feels pretty blocked to them right now. And I feel as though their confidence in that type of future is weak, it has weakened for them. I want to talk about the Six of Pentacles, though. I'm wondering if they had a hard time putting in forth effort into a future that they envision for themselves, that could have attested to the heartbreak in some degree. They could also be thinking about, when it comes to you and them, the equal give and take. They could have noticed that you came in a very balanced, energetic by frequency. Look at where the Queen of Cups is. It's next to Three of Wands. It's next to Six of Pentacles, Ten of Cups. So they're viewing you as someone that is on the road to a healthy future, a healthy outcome. You are giving energetic frequency, if not to them, to someone else or something in your life. And you're full of possibility and potential. Like I'm just getting that abundance again, where that's how they are viewing you. I almost feel as though when it comes to them and they're reflecting on themselves, it's giving like that stuck energy a little bit, where they just feel confused. They just don't know where the target is. The target keeps moving. You keep moving. Even like the energy of a river flowing, that's the calm. Look at the camera. You know, again, it could be where they are looking at pictures. They are thinking about the memories of the past in their mind, like snapshots of the past keeps resurfacing. We got the Chariot in the reverse with the Three of Cups in the reverse, could also express the idea of them not knowing how to repair or get into a good grace or status with you, especially if there is a disconnect, especially if there is frost between the both of you. If there was a Tower moment, card number 16, you know, like that could be the energy of them trying to seek light in the darkness. Could give a little bit of that hermit energy too with this candle. But with the Chariot in reverse, they may not know what direction to go to. They may be at a standstill. Look at these wild horses, but these wild horses are carrying this cart, and this person is using a whip, and the energy just feels wild, you know, but we're getting it in reverse. So it's as though this person, even if they are feeling that energy brewing within them, they don't know where the target is. Again, they don't know where to go. They don't know where it would lead. That could result in someone not taking action in general. We got the Seven of Cups coming up in the reversal with the Lovers, which is card number 6, and that is Gemini energy. Weighing options, going back and forth, not knowing what choice to make or take. There's too much going on in their mind right now. But in some degree, I do feel like they are healing though. Like this is part of their journey and how they're experiencing it. And I feel like what is keeping them from, you know, getting to a point of like equal balance. Hi, baby. Hi, Moon. Moon, my cat is saying hi. Hi, baby. Like that equal balance that they might envision or see you in that energy. I feel as though for them it's because they're too focused on the wrong things. They're too focused on hitting the target that they might be missing the target. You know, it's hard to explain, but it's like they're hyper focused. When you're hyper focused on something, it could backfire. You know, and I feel like for this person, it's happening in real time where they are hyper focusing on trying to attain or get your attention or you know, figure out how to move in your direction. But again, it's like all over the place. The only like calm I am sensing a little bit is from the Three of Wands. Like looking at the imagery of this person looking out their window at the calm, flowy, sparkly river, sipping their coffee, taking a moment of respite, but again, not being able to see around the corner. Knowing that it's temporary as well. Like this person might be on their travels with this camera, knowing that they're going to have to be on the go. And this calm water could lead to something a little bit more not secure. Okay, where the moving target could be all over the place. And again, that could be how they view you, especially if you are taking action in your own life. If they feel as though you might be completely healed and moved on with the Three of Swords in reverse, you know? So this is going to be a little bit of a longer reading. I'm noticing that's just the energy I'm in lately, where I'm really just, I don't know, getting pulled into this reading where that's all I could hear is just a lot of messages coming through. And I'm just going with it, guys. So let's move on. But we do have the messages from animal spirit guides. What is their, what energy are they coming in as? What's been on their mind about you and them? What animal are they showing up as spiritually, energetically? Or I would even say, what is their perception of you and them with the animals? So let's see. Give it a few really good shuffles. And let's see, Spirit, what do we need to see? What's been on their mind about group 3 and them? What do we need to see? What animals? Messages, Spirit, what do we need to see? What's been on their mind? Okay. Bottom of the deck, platypus. New bottom of the deck, grouse or grouse. And we got the ladybug. It's like they need luck on their side. We got the octopus and we got the owl, the Hawaiian owl, puo. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing that right. So we're going to just say Hawaiian owl or the owl. What's on their mind? So immediately I'm getting where they are in their emotions. We're getting 2 animals that are in water, which could represent emotions. Water could be Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. We are also, just to go back to the energy, getting a lot of waters in the tarot. A lot of cups, I should say. And but we did get a little bit of the fire energy. And so again, take that as it fits, guys, because you might not resonate with that. That might not be your sign, for example. But it could just be the emotional, energy that's surrounding this reading in the aftermath of what happened between the both of you. I do feel as though they do view you as having more wisdom. Maybe they're trying to gain that wisdom. I feel as though their eyes are very sharp. They are looking at the details, maybe to the point of it's too much. Again, if they're hyper focusing, especially on the details, the phrase, the devil in the details, that could be where they are getting in their own way a little bit. But even the octopus energy and the owl, it feels like intelligence, wisdom. Octopuses could be very kind too. And again, it's also giving the energy of the 7 of Cups, just a lot going on. A lot of moving plates. A lot of the target is always on the go. And again, if you are the target, they can't get a grasp. I'm getting like it's just hard to pinpoint. Hi, Moni. Moni is my cat. She might be on the audio, guys. She's coming through. Hi, Momo. Hi, Momo. Okay, you gotta get down. Sorry, guys. Oh! Okay, she took a huge leap. So let me just fix a little bit. Okay, I don't know what rolled on the ground, but something she could play with. So I'll let it. I'll allow it. All right, so to go back, as we're talking about animals, the whole way that moon came through and slipped past, and just the slippery nature of when I was shuffling, it is giving that platypus. The way this platypus looks so slippery, I feel as though this person is, in their hyper focus, trying to creep up. Gosh, I hate using the word creep because I don't think this person is a creep, but the energy of them just trying to slither in, figure out what's going on with you. And it's not easy. Again, you could be blocked to them. You could be engaging in all sorts of social engagements. Time sensitive, it is the festive season, the holiday season. So, they might be wondering what you're up to, which could again result in inaction on their part if they can't pinpoint where you are. But I do feel as though they have made a decision about you. I feel as though they do feel like they need luck, like they're missing, like they need luck on their side. They could also be viewing you like Lady Luck, like goodness, the Queen of Cups. You're good. You're the ladybug. You are positive. Like you're giving that energy of you're gonna be okay. Especially if when you're coming from a place of love. And I feel as though this person's set point might not be like that. It's as though this person may have come from a place of passion and maybe ego, where now they are overly thinking and unsure of themselves, lacking that confidence. And that could be where they are feeling a little bit, I would even say blocked off. It could be them that is blocked off at this point. It could be mutual too if you guys have ended something mutually, but I don't think this person has moved on from this. They are yearning for you too. I'm getting that they can't let go of it. And gosh, with the Six of Pentacles, I'm curious with it coming up with the Three of Swords. It's like, are they healing? What are they healing? The energetic frequency between the both of you? Were they the type of person that really didn't give as much as you did? If you're coming through as a Queen of Cups, whether you're male or female, that is a very giving, compassionate energy. So I'm wondering if like that's what they're trying to heal, especially if they didn't match that energy. And now they might be in a regretful feeling about it, especially if you fluttered away, you know? All right, I want to see the place oracle, Spirit. With the place oracle, what do we need to see? Is mentally, what space is this person or place is this person, or physically? Excuse me, hang on 1 second. Okay, let's see. Place oracle, Spirit. What do we need to see? What's been on their mind? Okay, beauty salon, cemetery. We have parking lot. And let's get the bottom of the deck energy, home. New bottom of the deck energy is financial center. So I feel as though this person could be really working a lot or at home. Like it's like they have two modes, work life, home life, commuting. That's just the feeling I'm getting. I'm also wondering if, with beauty salon, with the Queen of Cups, if they are envisioning you glowing up in some way, you may have, I don't know, evolved or glowed up, meaning like you could have looked fitter, gotten a different hairstyle, or just presenting yourself to the world in a healthy way where you do seem to be moving forward and engaging in life and engaging in a future that they are viewing that's going to be successful. So I'm getting a lot from this beauty salon. It can also be where they want to create a prettier picture between the both of you and them. Like I'm getting that imagery of the camera. And with beauty salon, it could feel as though, maybe it is even hard for them to create a vision of the future that is pretty, that does look good for you and for them. But that could be something that is on their mind when they are thinking about you right now. I feel like with cemetery, that feels like death, an ending. They could be reflecting. Guys, again, like if they were the type of person that moved on or seemed to have moved on really fast, it feels as though they're circling back to this again in some way where their healing is opening up a lot more shadows that they are starting to realize that they may have been not bringing into the forefront of their, awareness. I feel like as though everything is brewing for them right now. And they could be alone a lot. I feel like they're in reflective mode, a little bit in isolating mode. Even if they're on a vacation, it could be a staycation, for example, at their home, or they could have taken a trip, for example, and by themselves. That could be for some of them. But I do feel a little bit of that emptiness. Like an empty parking garage feels a little scary too, like the loneliness, the fear of what's around the corner, which again, they can't see. And that could produce some fear or anxiety for them as they know that things are changing. Okay. Let's see. What else do we got? We got the Pantha. Before we get your final messages, let's see what other thoughts. What's been on their mind about you and them? What else could we see, Spirit? What do we need to see, Spirit? What else? What's on their mind about group 3 and them? Like what are they thinking about? What else, Spirit, do we need to see? Let's give it a couple more shuffles. Make sure we mix up that energy. All right, Spirit, thank you so much. Let's see. It's been on their mind about you and them. Whoa. Okay. I feel like we should stop there. And we have accident at the bottom of the deck. Let's put it over here. New bottom of the deck, overload. Yeah, I am getting that sense where they're just, that could be why they're keeping to themselves as well, guys. They could be stressed out. This time of year too, time sensitive. The holiday season could create a lot of stress and loneliness and those type of depressive type of seasonal feelings. And that could take a toll, So we got accident, we got friendship. We have memory. Card number 20, card number 72. Another card with 16. Again, that tower energy. We have marionette, stubbornness, and bully. Wow. They're being really hard on themselves. It's like they're their own worst enemy right now. Getting the energy of them just really beating themselves up about the past, about how they've treated you. They are reflecting, and it's the lowest frequency or emotion that a human being could feel on the spectrum of emotions is shame. And I feel like this person is kind of sitting in that energy a little bit. I'm wondering what happened between the both of you, but I feel like for a lot of you, it could be where this person didn't give enough energy or attention in this connection, and that could have led to the finality of it. And even though they're healing from this and they might view you or thinking about you have healed and have really come a long way and moved on, whether that's true or not, that's how they're viewing it. But I feel as though they are still being led, by another force. It's like someone or something is playing puppet master with them that they are now aware of. And honestly, guys, it feels as though it could be spirit. Like finally, this person is not ignoring their intuition. You know, they could have been feeling forced by the universe, but what they don't realize is fighting against the universe is fighting against their own soul alignment. Because the universe is not against you, ever. Life is always happening for you, not against you. And I feel as though this person could have been fighting against their own current, and that could have felt forced. But I feel as though they are hopefully recognizing this, you know. But again, we do got that stubborn energy. Stubbornness is coming up. Card number 77, where they could have really been plugging their ears so they couldn't see what was right in front of them. And now that they are searching for the target, it's nowhere to be found, or it's moving in and out of their sight because they might be out of practice, or they may not even know how to find the target because they've had their eyes closed for so long. I feel with memory that goes back to the energy of them looking at photos or just reminiscing in general, guys. Like that does seem to be something that they are doing heavily with the Four of Swords, with the Three of Pentacles, or I'm sorry, the Three of Wands, where that yearning is coming, where they are purposely, it's like they are not even trying to move on without you. When someone is attached to energy, it could be at this point, you know, something they are aware of, but they're still allowing to happen. So they're in stuck energy, guys, in an excess where it is creating a sort of frost around them that's hard to crack, that's hard to melt. I do feel like with friendship, it's reminding me of the Three of Cups coming in reverse, and they could be thinking about the good times. They could also be thinking about them wanting to recreate good times or have that type of friendship with you again. And they may have messed it up by accident. It's like, dang, I didn't mean to do it, but it did it anyway. There could also be a third party or an external interference that could have affected this connection. Take that as it fits, guys. But again, external party doesn't necessarily mean another person. It could be a situation. It could be their work, for example. It could be a past connection, especially if this is not you that they have broken up with the Three of Swords being here, or ended something with, you know. So take that as it fits. But I want to get our final messages because I'm curious, you know, what's your advice, Spirit? Is this someone that you are going to reconnect with? I'm not sure. You know, whether you are moved on and living your best life, because that is what this person imagines and sees. And they do feel like it's genuine. I don't think this person thinks you are covering up, you know, pain or something like that. I do feel like they authentically think you are moved on and happy without them. So the fact is, are you? And if you are, maybe it is for the best that you are not with this person. But again, that could also be what is going to bring you back into union with this person, depending on your connection, depending on what you want. And also depending on where this person is going to be led, because I do still think this person has a hard shell surrounding them right now of their own doing. Even though they're hyper focused on you, they still doesn't mean they're taking action. In other words, but again, this is what they're healing. This is what they are recognizing that they are at fault with. So I'm curious what your advice is. So let's see, Spirit, with the cosmic messages. What is our direct advice for pile 3? Stop ruminating over what you did or didn't do. Let it go. Wow, that's advice for you, but I'm wondering if it's also advice for this person because they are the ones that seem to be ruminating over spilt milk or past events between the both of you. But if for some reason this resonates with you, what you did or did not do, Spirit is saying it's not going to help you thinking like that. So keep that in mind that whatever path you are on should lead you into the bright future, that this person also sees you on that path. And again, if that is authentic, then it's important to not hyper focus on, past circumstances. Wow, this came out for all three readings. And I feel like this is the collective energy, guys. You have such strength and power. You're coming through as the Queen of Wands with this card, which, whether you are a fire sign or not, it's that feeling of just knowing your value, your strength, your worth. You have the power to create the life you love. Remember that. You are forging ahead. You are glowing up. And Moon is going to tone with one of my crystals. So if you hear that, I'm going to let her do her thing, though. She's having fun. The point is, that's the energy I want you to be in, like, do your thing. Have fun. Don't let someone control or don't let yourself overthink where you are at in this journey right now, with or without this person is the point, regardless, Spirit is saying you have the power. Okay, we also have, this is coming through a lot too. You could use some self-care time, like now, schedule it in. It's funny because this person thinks you are good to go, but maybe you do need to take care of yourself in a way. Trust yourself always. Trust others once they've earned it. Dude. Bottom of the deck. Life can be hard and life can be wonderful. Which will you focus on? Again, we're getting a lot of similar energy. Money. We're getting a lot of similar energy with the other readings when it comes to advice, because I just feel like you guys are so strong. I love you guys so much. The collective energy, those of you that have subscribed, like, you're powerful. Even if sometimes you don't believe that you are. Spirit is here to say that you are in control. And, regardless of whether you're in control or not, allowing life to unfold the way it unfolds, already that gives a sense of being in your energy, in your authentic energy, when you don't fight against the current of life. Trust yourself. Trust that you are headed in the right direction, whether life is hard or wonderful, depending on the day, depending on the hour. Just go with the energy. Go with the flow. And remember to also create some sort of space that you could return to that could be healing. Make sure you schedule it in if you've been sacrificing. Queen of Cups could be, which is what energy this person is viewing you to be, could be very self-sacrificing sometimes in, toward themselves, because you're always putting other people in front of you. You could be a giver. So, even if you were a giver in with this person, the point is, I think Spirit is saying, like, give time to yourself, especially currently in this energy. Don't focus on this person. This person hasn't let you go. But that doesn't mean you have to that doesn't mean you can't let go. Just because you let go doesn't mean that that's the end forever. If you do want this person to come back around, whether they do or not, you could still live your life and detach from outcome, is the point. Stop ruminating over the past, guys, and just forge ahead, because that's where your spirit is guiding you toward like that 10 of cups. And again, like that person, that's how they view you. And if that's how they view you, that's what's keeping them stuck on you. So might as well allow that to be authentically your reality. Okay? As a friendly reminder. I love you guys. Thank you for staying this long. Let me know if this resonated. Send a like, comment, subscribe if you haven't. I'd love to see you again. And bye.